Good morning, Year 6. Today it's Wednesday the 3rd of June and we are adding and subtracting fractions. So our first anchor question, calculate the missing numerator. So the way we need to do this, we need to use our knowledge that we looked at yesterday, and we need to know that we need to make the denominator all the same. So let's have a look. So 35 over 35 is our largest denominator, and then the other denominators are over 7. So we need to times these fractions that have a denominator of 7 by 5. Okay, so we need to times them by 5. So the numerator and the denominator by 5. So first one, we have got 15 over 35, add something over 35 to equal 25 over 35. So looking at that makes it really simple and easy. So we just need, we know we don't need to add the denominators together, just the numerators. 15 add something equals 25. So I know that that equals 10. So 10 35ths equals 5/7 to make that complete. Our next one is looking here, so looking at different denominators again. So 1/2 add 3/8. Remember, make the denominators the same, but we're not adding the denominators, or we don't subtract the denominators. So whatever I've done to get from the 2 to the 8 by timesing, I need to do to the numerator. So 2, 4, 6, 8, I've times by 4, so I've got to times the numerator by 4. So that is 4/8. So 4 add 3 is 7/8. Remember, we're not adding the denominator, only the numerators. And here, again, so that becomes 10/12. And again, we've got to check our operation. 11/12 take away 10/12 equals 1/12. Okay, just going to watch today's video, and this will help you in more detail with today's questions.
Welcome back. We're going to have a look today at adding and subtracting fractions, and we're going to start off with a bit of a delicious problem. So we've got a chocolate bar here. Charlie eats 1/5 of the chocolate bar. Susie eats 3/10 of the chocolate bar. How much have they eaten altogether? Pause the video, have a think for yourself first. Okay, let's have a look then. So Charlie eats 1/5 of the chocolate bar. Now, a fifth would be 5 equal parts, and we want one of them. Can you visualise how I could split the chocolate bar into 5 equal parts? Perhaps you may visualise it this way. If he eats 1/5 of them, the part in orange is the part that Charlie eats. Susie eats 3/10 of the chocolate bar. Well, the chocolate bar was already in 10 equal parts, so that would be 3 of the pieces. So in total, they've eaten 5/10 of the bar. Another way, we could say that is, they've eaten half of it as well. I'm going to have the other half, I think. Here is a strip of paper. 2/5 of it will be shaded red. Half of it will be shaded blue. The rest will be left white. What fraction will be left white? Pause the video, have a think for yourself first. Let's have a look then. Well, if 2/5 of it are going to be shaded red, it would look a bit like this. And half of it would be shaded blue, it would look a bit like this. But together, how can I work out what fraction will be left white? Well, if I split my strip of paper into 10 equal parts, I can see that 4 out of 10 will be equivalent to 2/5, and 5 out of 10 will be equivalent to 1/2. So in total, 9/10 will be shaded either red or blue, and 1/9 will be left white. There we go. So can you use the bar model to solve these then? 7/12 subtract 1/4, and 7/12 add 1/4. Pause the video, have a go for yourself first. How did you get on? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the subtraction of 1/4 first. Well, I can see that 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12. So if I take away 3/12, I'm left with 4/12. The answer is 4/12. What about the addition? 7/12 add a quarter. Well, I can see that 1/4 still is equivalent to 3/12. So if I add that to 7/12, it would leave me with 10/12. What about if we got a bit more abstract and we started using numbers in a different way? Well, I can see that 5/6 is equivalent to 10/12. I've multiplied the numerator and denominator by the same number, in this case is 2. So I get the common denominator of 12. So 10/12 plus 2/12 is equal to 12/12, or 1. What about these two? Pause the video, have a try for yourself first. Let's have a look. Let's find a common denominator. Well, 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. So 6/8 plus 1/8 is 7/8. What about the next one? We find a common denominator. Well, I know that 9 is a multiple of 3. So 1/3 is equivalent to 3/9. So 5/9 subtract 3/9 is 2/9. There we go. What about this one? 1/3 plus 3/5 equals blank. Now, I noticed that 5 is not a multiple of 3. So I might need to think of a different way of doing this. Let's find a common denominator. Let's list the multiples of 3 and the multiples of 5. Found one. They both have a multiple of 15. Let's convert a third to equivalent fraction that's got a denominator of 15. Well, I notice that 3 is 5 times smaller than 15. So if I apply the same to the numerator, I can see that 1/3 would be equivalent to 5/15. What about 3/5? Well, I can see that 5 is 3 times smaller than 15. So in order to keep the same ratio between the numerator and denominator, I would need to multiply the numerator by 3 as well, which would give me 9. And now I've got a common denominator. I can do 5/15 add 9/15, which is 14/15. There's my answer. One for you to have a go at now then. Pause the video, have a go at this one. Okay, let's have a look then. Again, 7 isn't a multiple of 6 and 6 isn't a multiple of 7. So let's list the multiples of 6 and 7. Spotted one. I can see that they both share a multiple of 42, which is the lowest common multiple. So I can see that 6 is 7 times smaller than 42. So I want to keep the same relationship with the numerator, which means that 8/6 is equivalent to 56/42. Bit of a funny fraction to say. And 2/7, let's have a look at that one. Well, I can see that 7 is 6 times smaller than 42. So to keep the same ratio, I'm going to multiply the numerator by 6 as well, which would be 12. Now I've got a common denominator. 56/42 subtract 12/42 would be 44/42. And there's my answer. Okay, your turn. Pause the video. If you've got the worksheet, have a go. If not, don't worry. Have a go at the material on the BBC Bite-Size website.
Okay, so let's have a look at the questions for today. So you're again using bar models to help you add and subtract fractions. Don't forget to go on to Learning by Questions to test your...
Hello everybody, welcome to today's